Good afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of the TNT Sports Show from J7 Sports Grill. With my co-host Terry, I am Travis, and we'll get things started with sectional Thursday for volleyball. Terry will be over at Eastern Green tonight, so we'll start with that.
Okay. Tonight's going to be an interesting match. Eastern Green faces South Knox. South Knox is the team who eliminated them from sectional play a season ago, so that'll be some extra motivation for the Lady Thunderbirds. They met earlier this season in a round robin at South Knox. Eastern Green lost in 3 sets in that, but they were playing that day without Kelsey Fleener, who's one of their 3 senior leaders. So, her return could make a difference in tonight's match. I mean, obviously, Kelsey's been playing at less than 100%, with a torn labrum in her shoulder, but she's still out there, still making plays and hustling, and sometimes she can't take a full swing at it because the pain is too great, but she's still getting the ball over the net and getting it into keeping it in play and placing it for points. So.
Then Linton Stockton's got essentially a double bye, and they play on Saturday.
Yeah, and they play Mitchell, who they swept earlier just a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, it looks like they're going to have a pretty clear path to at least to the sectional final.
And also on the same side of the bracket as Eastern Green is, you got probably the preventative favorite there in Bar Reeve.
Yeah, Bar Reeve. One thing I have to say about them, they've certainly made the adjustment to 2A rather well, since they're ranked second in the state in Class 2A after moving up this year due to the tournament success factor.
What's it going to take for either Eastern Green or Linton to knock off Bar Reeve there?
They're going to have to bring their absolute best match, I think. Bar Reeve. They've got hitters, and they're all over the floor, and they're well coached. There's a reason in Class A that they've been going to semi-states and state finals. It's just a good program.
And over in Class A, at Clay City tonight, Bloomfield and WRV opens up in the first match. Bloomfield won the regular season matchup 3-1. In the second match tonight, host Clay City is taking on Eminence. So possibly a Bloomfield Clay City semifinal match. They've played twice earlier this year. Clay City's won both those matches, so Bloomfield's going to come out with a little chip on their shoulder. Plus Bloomfield got them last year in the sectional final, so it's going to be a battle there.
Yeah. And last year there was a dogfight between Bloomfield and WRV in the opener too. I don't know if we'll see the same outcome this year, but it's always possible.
And talking with Bloomfield coach Ashley Dunkley, they are definitely not overlooking WRV at all. So this will be a good opening match. And then also there at the Clay City sectional, we have Shakamak. They got the double bye, and they'll play North Central in the second semifinal on Saturday. Shakamak only 5-20 on the year, but talking to Coach Kirk Beckley, he thinks the girls are playing a lot better at the end of the season. He says they're peaking at the right time, so just not a team to overlook as well.
Yeah, and they are playing better. They've come around and started playing better. They are going to have their hands full with Caitlin Kennedy and McCoskey, as any team would.
Right. Yeah, both McCoskey and Kennedy entered the match with over 200 kills apiece. So Shakamak will be on top of their game. They have a good net presence from Alyssa Garrow and Diamond Hinkle. I think looking through Shakamak's stats, Hinkle has 92 blocks in the season, so she's going to have another good game for them to advance as well.
Yeah, she's going to be important in that match with those 2 players North Central has.
Then also this weekend starts football sectionals, and you'll be here in town with Linton. Yep.
They'll host Tell City. And Tell City, they come in 1-8, but they've played a 3A schedule. I'd almost say Tell City's 1-8 record is better than a lot of the 3-6 and 5-4 records we see around here, just because of the strength of schedule. It's just hard to gauge until teams meet on the field, just how good or not good a team is that's bringing in a record like that, because last year they go up to Eastern Green for the first round of the sectional. They're 2-7, and I remember B.J. Hargis telling me, I bet you Tell City's 2-7 record's better than Eastern Green's 5-5, and it turned out to be the case because they won 47-32. Tell City is going to be probably the first team that Linton's faced since Sullivan that's more of a pass-first team, more of a pass-oriented attack. Last year they didn't throw the ball much because they had Elliott Brown, who was running for 200 yards a game. But this year they've gone more to the pass. They've only hit 39% of their passing attempts, though. So that's going to be interesting to see how much success they have trying to throw the ball against Linton.
And it seems like it doesn't matter who Linton plays. If they're playing a top-ranked team, a bottom-dweller team, they get the same performance week in, week out from Linton.
Yeah, and speaking of top-ranked teams, Linton's path through the tournament is not going to be a cakewalk, because assuming Linton gets past Tell City and assuming Perry Central gets past Wood Memorial, which I think that's a fairly safe assumption there, they'd meet Perry Central in the next round, and Perry Central is ranked 10th in Class A. Matter of fact, Linton Stockton would have to go through 3 top 10 teams to get to Lucas Oil. They'd have, assuming Eastern Green doesn't beat West Washington, I don't know. That'll be an interesting game too. But Linton could have to go through West Washington. They're ranked 6th, and then North Vermilion, who we've already played, is 5th in Class A. So there's 3 top teams they're going to have to go through on that path. So it's not gonna be a given.
And then speaking of Eastern Green, they're at home against South Decatur Friday nights. South Decatur comes on the record of 5-4. Just talking to Coach Paradine yesterday, he mentioned that he feels like Eastern Green's had their best practices of the year the last couple of days, which is what he wants. They come in a little banged up. Talking to Coach yesterday, Isaac Hamilton is pretty much ruled out for the rest of the season with a concussion. Okay. Brent Price is still probably a no-go for this Friday, but I think Gavin Hill stepped up in Brent's shoes last week and played a good role last week, so he's going to be relying a little bit heavier this week. And then also, and you got Jeff Graham, one of the best quarterbacks in the area, so anytime you get him on the field, you got a chance. So he likes their chances as well. And South Decatur comes in with I think Damon Allen leads them with almost 1,200 yards rushing, and Coach Paradine kind of compared him to maybe the Fields back from North Knox. He mentioned they have run more of a pro-style offense, and just kind of smash mouth and mixing a little play-action pass. So, but Eastern's kind of faced those sort of teams throughout the year, so he likes their chances there as well.
Yep.
Then moving on, Saturday we have cross-country semi-state. We have 8 local runners competing there, 4 boys and 4 girls. So just kudos to all of them for making it this far so far.
Yeah, and it's nice to see them get there, because the majority of them were there last year. I mean, obviously the exception would be Sierra Ford, the freshman from Eastern Green.
And speaking of Sierra Ford, she's this week's Athlete of the Week. Like Terry mentioned, she's just a freshman. She ran personal best time of 21:18 Saturday at the Bedford North Lawrence Regional. Good for 35th overall. She was the 9th individual qualifier, not on a qualifying team. She actually was the first Eastern Green runner to cross the finish line, which is the first time she's done that all year, and she's just peaking at the right time. So just congratulations to Sierra on a great end of a freshman year for her. So
yeah, quite an achievement for a freshman from Greene County to make it to the semi-state.
And then other runners that have advanced as well. In the girls' side, Bloomfield's Allie Workman, where she's been the top runner all year. No surprise there. She finished 2nd behind Bloomington North's Grace Williams. She finished 20 seconds behind her at the sectional. She's cut that down to 12 seconds last week, so she's gaining a little ground on Grace. And then Elizabeth Redwig from Shakamak is also a qualifier, as is Mariah Sweet from Shakamak. Then on the boys' side, Jansen Franklin from Linton Stockton, he was the area's top finisher. He got a 7th place finish. And then Shakamak's Clay Reynolds and Bloomfield's Parker Ramsey, and also WRV's Buddy Davis is rounds out the field that we'll have at the Brown County semi-state on Saturday.
Yeah, Buddy Davis, of course, the first 2 rounds he's been at the Brown County cross country course where everyone else is going this time, but they've either been at Bedford up till then or Terre Haute, one or the other. So he's familiar with the course. Jansen really ran a good race last week. I mean, I know Clay was fighting back spasms a little bit, and those 2 are usually running with each other, but still, Jansen ran a good race.
I was going to say, I was really impressed with the way Jansen ran. His strategy all year has been get out quick and try and keep that pace. It hasn't always worked out for him, but it worked out Saturday, and he ran a great race and finished strong. And 7th place finish at that regional is nothing to be ashamed of. And he was the second individual finisher out on a non-qualifying team, so congrats to him. And he'll be looking to make the state finals for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That about wraps up for this week's show. Just thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.